My name is Deputy Marcus Cole, 36 years old, and I've worked for the Esmeralda County Sheriff's Office in Nevada for 8 years. Before that, I did 4 years with Metro in Las Vegas. But I wanted out of the city. Too much violence, too many bodies, too many things I couldn't unsee. Esmeralda County seemed perfect. 3,589 square miles of high desert, fewer than 1,000 residents. Maybe 2 serious calls per month. I figured I'd spend my shifts checking on ranchers and writing the occasional speeding ticket on Highway 95. The night of March 14, 2023, I was running solo patrol in the western half of the county, covering the area from Goldfield down to the California border. Clear night, temperatures in the low 40s, no moon. The kind of darkness you only get in places where the nearest streetlight is 50 miles away. At 22:47 hours, dispatch patched through a call. Marge Henderson, our night dispatcher, sounded uncertain. Unit 7, be advised we have a 1054 report on State Route 264, mile marker 31. Caller states there's a body in the road. Caller was a trucker, refused to stop, continuing southbound. Can you respond? 10-4, dispatch, en route, ETA approximately 20 minutes. I hit my lights, not the siren, nobody to warn out here, and pushed the cruiser up to 90 on the empty highway. Mile marker 31 was deep in the Palmetto Mountains, a stretch of road that sees maybe 10 vehicles per day. And I arrived at 23:09 hours, according to my dash cam timestamp. Slowed as I approached, high beams cutting through the darkness. Saw nothing in the road. No body, no debris, no indication anything had been there. I pulled onto the shoulder, grabbed my streamlight, stepped out. The desert was silent. No wind, no coyotes, nothing. Just my boots on gravel and the tick of my cooling engine. I walked the road for a quarter mile in each direction. Found nothing. No blood, no drag marks, no tracks in the sandy shoulder. If a body had been here, it was gone now. Dispatch, Unit 7, 1097 at mile marker 31. No 1054 located. Road is clear. Possible 1096 from the caller. Copy, Unit 7. You want me to try to reach that trucker again? Affirmative. Get a callback number if you can. I'll do another sweep. I walked the area again, this time checking the brush on either side of the road. Sagebrush, creosote, rocks, typical high desert terrain. My flashlight caught something about 30 yards off the road. Disturbed soil, like something had been dragged. I followed the marks. They led to a shallow wash, maybe 4 feet deep, hidden from the road. And in the wash, I found her. Female, mid-20s, wearing a torn sundress, barefoot. She was lying face down, motionless. I checked for pulse. None. Skin was cold. Rigor had set in. She'd been dead for hours, maybe longer. Dispatch, Unit 7. I have a 1054 confirmed. Female victim appears deceased, located approximately 30 yards east of mile marker 31 in a drainage wash. Requesting coroner and backup. Copy, Unit 7. Coroner notified. Backup en route from Goldfield, ETA 45 minutes. 45 minutes alone with a body in the middle of nowhere. I've done it before. Doesn't get easier. I documented the scene. Photographs, GPS coordinates, preliminary observations. No visible wounds, no signs of struggle. Jane Doe looked like she'd simply lay down and died. Then I noticed her hands. They were wrong. The fingers were too long, the joints bending at angles that human anatomy doesn't allow. I lifted one hand with my pen. The skin was cold but soft, almost rubbery. Not rigor, something else. I stepped back, shined my light on her face. The features were indistinct, like a photograph slightly out of focus. Human, but not quite. Like someone had tried to sculpt a woman from memory and gotten the details wrong. Dispatch, Unit 7. Be advised, victim presents unusual physical characteristics. Requesting expedited backup. Unit 7, can you elaborate? I didn't know how to elaborate. How do you tell dispatch that the dead body doesn't look human enough? Just get someone here faster if possible. I retreated to my cruiser, locked the doors, kept my eyes on the wash. Something was wrong. Every instinct I'd developed over 12 years in law enforcement was screaming at me. At 23:34 hours, my radio crackled. Unit 7, this is Unit 3. I'm about 15 minutes out. You okay? Unit 3 was Deputy Janet Reyes, working the eastern half of the county. Good cop, solid backup. 10-4, Unit 3. Situation is stable but unusual. Advise caution on approach. Copy that. See you soon. At 23:41 hours, the body moved. I was watching through my windshield, flashlight beams still illuminating the wash. The woman sat up, slow, mechanical, like a puppet being raised by strings. Her head turned toward my cruiser, toward me, and I saw her face clearly for the first time. No eyes, just smooth skin where eye sockets should be. No mouth either, just a blank, featureless oval. She stood, those wrong hands hung at her sides, fingers twitching. She took a step toward me, then another. I keyed my radio. Dispatch, Unit 7. The 1054 is 10-8. Repeat, the victim is ambulatory. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Unit 7, say again? The deceased is walking? Affirmative. Requesting immediate backup. All available units. Copy. Unit 7. All units, 10-33 on Unit 7's position. Mile marker 31, route 264. The thing that looked like a woman was 15 yards from my cruiser now, walking steadily, unhurried. I put the car in reverse, backed up 50 yards. It kept coming. I hit my spotlight, flooded it with light. It stopped, stood there in the white glare, featureless face tilted toward me. Then it spoke. Without a mouth, without moving, it spoke directly into my mind. Marcus, we've been waiting for you. I've never believed in the supernatural. 12 years of police work, you see enough human evil to know that's where the real monsters are. But this wasn't human. This wasn't anything I could explain. What are you? We are what lives in the spaces between. The desert knows us. The old ones knew us. You've driven these roads for 8 years, Marcus. Did you think you were alone? Stay back. I will use lethal force. Your weapons can't hurt us. Nothing you have can hurt us. But we're not here to hurt you either. We're here to invite you. Invite me to what? To see, to understand, to join us in the spaces between. It took another step forward. I drew my weapon, aimed center mass. Final warning. Stop moving or I will fire. It stopped. That blank face seemed to study me. You're not ready. That's fine. We're patient. We've waited thousands of years. We can wait a few more. But remember this, Marcus. Every time you drive these roads at night, we're watching. Every time you think you're alone, we're there. And eventually, you'll be ready. They all are, eventually. It turned and walked back toward the wash. I watched it descend into the drainage. Watched it lie down exactly where I'd found it. Watched it become still, become dead, become a body again. Deputy Reyes arrived at 23:58 hours. Found me sitting in my cruiser, engine running, weapons still in my hand. Cole, what the hell happened? I didn't know how to answer. I pointed at the wash. Body's over there. She checked. Found a female, mid-20s, deceased, called it in. Coroner arrived an hour later. Body was transported to the county morgue in Tonopah. The autopsy report listed cause of death as exposure. Jane Doe had wandered into the desert, succumbed to hypothermia. No unusual physical characteristics noted. No abnormalities in bone structure or facial features. Just a dead woman who shouldn't have been out there alone. I read that report 3 times. It didn't match what I saw. Didn't match what I experienced. My body cam footage from that night is corrupted. Dash cam shows me sitting in my cruiser for 45 minutes, not moving, not speaking. No record of me leaving the vehicle, finding the body, or any interaction with anything unusual. The official report I filed describes a standard 10-54 investigation. Deceased female, apparent exposure, no foul play suspected. I signed it, dated it, submitted it. The true report would have gotten me a psychiatric evaluation and early retirement, so I kept it to myself. But I requested a transfer to day shifts. Don't patrol after dark anymore if I can help it. And when I do have to drive those roads at night, I keep my eyes straight ahead, my radio on, my mind closed. The spaces between are real, and something lives there. Something that knows my name, knows my routes, knows how to wear human shapes that aren't quite right. I'm not ready to join them. I hope I never am. But they're patient, and I'm running out of dark roads. Story 2. My name is Sheriff Patricia Vance, 52 years old, and I've been the elected sheriff of Lowndes County, Alabama for 11 years. Before that, I was a deputy here for 15 years, and before that, Army MP. This county raised me, and I've given my life to protecting it. 33,000 people spread across 724 square miles of Black Belt farmland, pine forests, and the Tombigbee River corridor. December 2022. We had a situation I still can't explain and won't discuss officially. It started December 3rd with a missing person report. Elijah Warren, 78 years old, lived alone on a farm outside Fort Deposit. His daughter called when he didn't answer his phone for 3 days. She lived in Montgomery, couldn't check on him herself, asked if we could do a welfare check. I sent Deputy Tommy Briggs. Good kid, 24, 2 years on the job, eager. He arrived at Warren's property around 14:30 hours, found the front door standing open. No sign of Elijah, no sign of struggle. Called it in, requested I come take a look. I arrived at 15:15 hours. The Warren farm was typical for the area. 200 acres of cotton land gone fallow, a weathered clapboard house, a barn that hadn't seen use in decades. December in Alabama means short days, cold nights, trees stripped bare. The farm felt abandoned, dead, even though Elijah had been living there until recently. House is clear, Briggs reported. No Elijah, no body, no obvious signs of what happened. But Sheriff, there's something weird in the back bedroom. He led me through the house. Standard rural residence, mismatched furniture, family photos on walls, the accumulated clutter of a long life. The back bedroom had been Elijah's, based on the clothes in the closet. On the wall above his bed, someone had drawn symbols, black marker or paint covering the entire surface. Circles, lines, crosses arranged in patterns I didn't recognize. The work was recent. The smell of marker was still faint in the air. Elijah do this? I asked. Daughter says he had dementia, early stages. Maybe he had an episode? I photographed the symbols, documented the room. Something about the patterns bothered me. They seemed to move at the edge of my vision, shift when I wasn't looking directly at them. Optical illusion, I told myself. Stress in shadows. We expanded the search, checked the barn, the outbuildings, the fields. No sign of Elijah. No tracks, no evidence of where he'd gone. At 16:47 hours, as the sun was setting, Briggs found him. Sheriff, over here. Elijah Warren was standing at the edge of the tree line, about 200 yards from the house, just standing there facing the forest, not moving. We approached carefully. Mr. Warren? Elijah, it's Sheriff Vance. Your daughter sent us to check on you. He didn't respond. Didn't turn, just stood there staring into the trees. I got within 10 feet of him. Elijah, can you hear me? He turned, and I immediately knew something was wrong. His eyes were black, not dark, black. No whites, no iris, just solid darkness where his eyes should be. His mouth was slightly open, and I could see that his teeth had changed. Sharpened, pointed. Too many of them crowded into his jaw. Sheriff Vance. His voice was wrong too. Too deep, resonant, like multiple voices speaking in unison. We've been waiting for you. I drew my weapon. Elijah, what happened to you? What's wrong with your eyes? Elijah is with us now. He invited us in. The symbols, the prayers, the offerings. He wanted this, wanted to see what we see, know what we know. Who is we? The old ones, the first ones. We were here before your people, before the creek, before anyone. We've slept so long, but Elijah woke us, and now we're hungry. Briggs had his weapon drawn too, hands shaking. Sheriff, what the hell is this? I don't know. Stay calm, stay ready. The thing wearing Elijah smiled with those wrong teeth. You can't hurt this body. It's ours now, but we don't want to fight. We want to spread. to grow, to make more like us. It took a step toward us. I fired 2 rounds, center mass. The body jerked with the impacts but kept coming. No blood, no reaction. Briggs, fall back to the vehicles. Now! We retreated, keeping weapons trained on Elijah. He followed, walking slowly, unhurried. That smile never faded. We reached the cruisers, got in, locked the doors. Elijah stopped at the edge of the yard watching. Dispatch, this is Unit 1. We have an emergency situation at the Warren farm. Shots fired, requesting immediate backup and medical. Copy, Unit 1. What's your status? Unknown. Just get everyone out here. Backup arrived. 3 more deputies, an ambulance. By the time they reached the farm, Elijah was gone, vanished into the forest. We searched until full dark, found nothing. Sheriff, what happened? Deputy Martinez asked. I don't know. Warren was exhibiting violent, disturbed behavior. I discharged my weapon but was unable to detain him. He fled into the woods. That was my official statement. The reality was worse. We searched for Elijah for 5 days, brought in dogs, helicopters, volunteers from neighboring counties. Found no trace. On day 6, we called off the active search. Elijah Warren was declared missing, presumed dead. December 14th. Elijah came back. Or something wearing him did. Deputy Martinez was doing a night patrol on County Road 7 when he spotted Elijah walking along the shoulder. He stopped, approached, called it in. Dispatch. I've got visual on Elijah Warren. County Road 7, near the old Piggly Wiggly. He's walking north. I'm going to make contact. Oh, that was the last transmission. When we found Martinez's cruiser 20 minutes later, he was gone. Driver's door open, engine running, body cam corrupted. No sign of struggle. No Martinez, no Elijah. I went to the scene personally. Found Martinez's weapon still in his holster on the driver's seat. His radio still in the cruiser. His phone on the center console. Everything left behind. Spread out, I told the remaining deputies. Find them. We searched for 3 hours. At 0247 hours, we found Martinez. He was standing at the edge of a cotton field, facing us, not moving. Just like Elijah had been. Roberto? Deputy Martinez? He turned, black eyes, wrong teeth, that same multi-layered voice. Sheriff Vance, we grow. Soon we'll be many, then we'll be everyone. This county belongs to us now. It always did. We're just taking back what's ours. Behind him, in the darkness of the field, I saw more figures. Elijah and others. People I didn't recognize, standing motionless, all facing us, all with those black eyes. How many are there? More every night. The hungry ones, the lonely ones, the ones who have nothing left. We offer them belonging, community, eternal family. Who wouldn't accept? You're killing people. We're transforming them. The flesh dies. What remains is better, stronger, part of us. One of my deputies, Jackson, young guy, religious, started praying under his breath. The thing wearing Martinez laughed. Prayer won't help. Your God has no power here. This is our land, our domain. We were gods before your God was born. I made a decision. All units fall back to vehicles. We're leaving. Sheriff, we can't just... Now. That's an order. We retreated. The figures in the field didn't follow. Just watched us go, those black eyes reflecting our headlights. I sealed the county that night, called in state police, told them we had a potential mass casualty situation, contamination, possible biological agent, details unclear. They established a perimeter while we evacuated residents from the affected area. The official story was a chemical spill. Industrial accident at an abandoned factory, required evacuation for safety. The real story stayed between me and the deputies who saw it. Over the next week, we lost contact with 17 residents who refused to evacuate. We found 11 of them, eventually, standing in fields and forests throughout the county, all with black eyes, all part of whatever Elijah Warren had awakened. We cordoned the area, declared it uninhabitable. The county still has a dead zone, 5,000 acres that nobody enters, officially due to contamination. Actually because of what lives there now. I retired 3 months later. Couldn't do the job anymore. Couldn't pretend that the reports I was filing matched reality. Couldn't lie to state officials, federal officials, everyone who wanted to know what really happened in Lowndes County. At all, the official record shows a chemical contamination event, missing persons, evacuations, environmental remediation ongoing, no mention of black eyes or wrong teeth or things that wear human bodies. But I know the truth. Something old woke up in Lowndes County, something hungry, and it's still out there, in that dead zone, building its family one lost soul at a time. I don't go back, never will. But sometimes at night, I dream of cotton fields and black eyes and a voice that says, "We're waiting for you, Patricia. We always will be." I pray I never get hungry enough, lonely enough, desperate enough to answer. Story 3. My name is Deputy Aaron Whitehorse, 29 years old, and I've worked for the San Juan County Sheriff's Office in New Mexico for 4 years. Before that, I did tribal police work on the Navajo Nation, where I grew up. San Juan County straddles the border between Navajo land and the Four Corners region. Oil fields, mesas, high desert, and some of the most isolated terrain in the lower 48. What happened on January 7, 2024, made me question everything I thought I knew about the land I came from. I was working night shift, covering the southern part of the county between Farmington and the Arizona border. Cold night, maybe 15 degrees, no wind. New moon, which meant the darkness was absolute once you got away from town lights. At 0134 hours, dispatch routed a call to me. Female caller, very distressed, reporting someone or something circling her property. Unit 14, respond to 4,847 County Road, 5,500. That's the Martinez residence. Caller reports suspicious person or animal circling the home. She's alone, elderly, very frightened. 10-4, dispatch, show me en route. ETA approximately 20 minutes. County Road, 5,500 runs through empty high desert. Sagebrush, juniper, red rock mesas. The Martinez place was the only residence for 5 miles in any direction. I'd been there before. Rosa Martinez, 73, lived alone since her husband died. Good woman, tough, not the type to call police without reason. I arrived at 0156 hours. The house was a small adobe structure, typical for the area, with a few outbuildings and a livestock pen with some goats. Rosa met me at the door, wrapped in a blanket, visibly shaken. "Thank you for coming, Deputy. It's been out there for hours. Walking circles around my house, I can hear it. See it sometimes in the moonlight. Can you describe what you saw? It looks like a person, walks like a person, but the way it moves is wrong, and it makes sounds, clicking, chattering, not human sounds." I took out my flashlight. "Stay inside, ma'am. Lock the doors. I'm going to check the perimeter." I walked the property, streamlight cutting through the darkness. Found tracks almost immediately. Human footprints, bare feet, circling the house exactly as Rosa had described. The prints were deep, suggesting significant weight, but the stride was impossibly long. 6 feet between each print, minimum. I followed the tracks around the house. They circled 3 times, then headed northwest toward the mesa. Dispatch, Unit 14. I've got tracks here, appear human but anomalous, heading northwest from the residence. I'm going to follow briefly, see if I can locate the individual. Copy, Unit 14. Advise caution. Backup is 40 minutes out if you need it. I followed the tracks for maybe 200 yards. They led toward a dry wash that cut through the desert, heading toward the base of the mesa. Then I heard it, clicking, just like Rosa described, rhythmic, almost like a language, coming from the wash ahead of me. I drew my weapon, advanced slowly. San Juan County Sheriff. Identify yourself. The clicking stopped. Silence. I reached the edge of the wash, shined my light down. The beam illuminated a figure crouching in the sandy bottom, maybe 30 feet away. It looked human. Naked, emaciated, skin pale in my flashlight beam. It was facing away from me, hunched over something I couldn't see clearly. Sheriff's Department. Stand up slowly. Keep your hands visible. The figure didn't move, didn't respond. I said stand up, slowly. It turned its head. Not its body, just its head, rotating nearly 180 degrees to look at me over its own back. The face was human but wrong, too long, features stretched, eyes reflecting my flashlight beam like an animal's. It smiled, mouth too wide, teeth too sharp. Whitehorse. It spoke my name in a voice like dry leaves scraping stone. Son of Hostine Whitehorse, grandson of Charlie Whitehorse. We know your blood. We've tasted it before. I've heard stories my whole life. Grew up on the res, heard the elders talk about skinwalkers, about things that wear human shapes, about why you don't travel alone at night in certain places. I always half believed, half doubted. I wasn't doubting anymore. What are you? We are what your grandmother warned you about, what your grandfather's grandfather prayed against. We have many names. None of them matter. What matters is that you came when we called. You made Rosa call me. We whispered to her, frightened her, knew she'd call for help, knew they'd send you, the Navajo deputy who doesn't quite believe. We've been waiting to meet you. It stood. The movement was wrong. Joints bending in directions they shouldn't. Body unfolding like something mechanical rather than organic. Standing, it was nearly 7 feet tall, limbs too long, torso too short. Stay back. I will fire. Your bullets will hurt this body, but we'll just find another. There are always bodies in the desert. Lost hikers, broken down motorists, lonely old women like Rosa. The land provides. I fired. 3 rounds, center mass. The thing staggered but didn't fall. Dark fluid leaked from the wounds. Not blood, something thicker. Wrong. It laughed. A sound like choking, like drowning. You can't kill what was never alive, but we appreciate the offering. The pain feeds us. The fear feeds us. And you're so afraid, Aaron Whitehorse. We can taste it. I ran. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I ran back to my cruiser, got in, locked the doors, floored it back toward the Martinez house. Rosa was on her porch, screaming. The thing was already there, standing between my cruiser and her door, having crossed 200 yards in the seconds I'd been running. She's ours now, it said. Payment for disturbing our hunting ground. But you can go. Go and tell everyone what you saw. Let the fear spread. Fear is our favorite meal. It moved toward Rosa. I hit the gas, drove straight at it, struck it with my cruiser at maybe 40 miles per hour. The impact threw it aside, but I saw it getting up in my rear view as I slammed the brakes at Rosa's door. Get in the car, now! Rosa didn't hesitate. Old woman moved faster than I'd have believed possible. She was in my back seat in seconds. I peeled out, heading back toward Farmington, radio in hand. Dispatch, Unit 14, emergency traffic. I need immediate backup at my location. I have a hostile individual. Shots fired, civilian extracted. This individual is extremely dangerous. Recommend tactical response. Unit 14, copy. All available units responding. What's your status? I checked the rear view. The thing was following, running on all fours now, keeping pace with my cruiser at 60 miles per hour. Dispatch, be advised the hostile is pursuing my vehicle. Speed approximately 60 mph. I don't know what I'm dealing with here. Unit 14, say again, pursuing at 60 miles per hour. Affirmative. This is not a normal situation. Request you notify Navajo Nation Police as well. They may have experience with this type of incident. The thing was gaining on me. I pushed the cruiser to 80, 90. It kept pace, that too wide smile visible in my headlights. Then, suddenly it stopped. Stood in the middle of the road, watching me drive away. At maybe half a mile distance, it raised one long arm and waved. I didn't stop until I reached Farmington. Rosa is in protective custody now, refuses to go back to her property. The county is calling it a home invasion, possible mentally disturbed individual. Investigation ongoing. I know what I saw. The thing in the wash, the way it moved, the way it knew my name, my grandfather's name. The elders have a name for what I encountered. I won't write it. You don't give names power by speaking them. But they know. When I told my grandmother what happened, she just nodded like she'd been expecting it. That land has always been theirs, she said. We borrowed it. Sometimes they remind us. The official report describes an aggressive individual, possibly on drugs, who fled when confronted. No mention of impossible anatomy, impossible speed, impossible knowledge. My body cam footage is corrupted, static for most of the incident, brief glimpses of something that might be human, might not be. The department sealed it, pending investigation. I'm still working, still patrolling, but I don't go to the southern sector anymore. Not at night, not alone. And when the new moon comes, I stay in town, doors locked, prayers said in the old language my grandmother taught me. The land has owners older than us. Sometimes they're hungry. Sometimes they want to be remembered. I'll remember, I'll never forget. And I pray they've forgotten me.